Well, folks, it's 1:30 in the morning. I just finished watching AEW Dynamite for April 7th, 2021. I'm going to be short and sweet about this as much as I possibly can because it is extremely late. I've been working since 8 o'clock in the morning and been house cleaning and all that other shit so I can have a nice layback, relaxing weekend. And hopefully enjoy WrestleMania for night 1 and night 2. Night 2 I'm not so worried about. Night 1 a little concerned. But getting off of WWE and bullshit, let's get into AEW. AEW for April 7th's episode wasn't terrible, but it was more laid back. They weren't trying so hard to win in the ratings or anything. I don't think they were really trying. I kind of assumed they were going to do this anyway, based on the situation being what it is. Next Tuesday, NXT is going to be on Tuesday nights. So, AEW is probably like, let them have their time. Let them have this week. Win the ratings. No big deal. They'll probably beat us by like 100,000 maybe, or by a couple of thousand people, and that's about it in the ratings. So who gives a shit? That's probably what their attitude was, while also producing a decent and well-built storyline episode. This is more, they did a great job in building storylines. Match quality, not so much. It was more laid back than anything else. I don't think they were trying so hard to meet certain expectations in the wrestling department. They were kind of like, let's have a laid back night. Let's do what we got to do the matches, but let's produce a really good quality storyline show. And I felt they delivered here. There was some logic gaps, which I'll get into, that I didn't agree with, that they didn't acknowledge, or at least make sense of. But they did touch on some important things in this show that I thought was very good. But I also touch on the things that they did wrong with some of those storylines that they touched on. So let's get into the very first match on the card. That was Hangman Page versus Max Caster. This was a good match. Hangman Page actually has been announced as the #1 ranked wrestler in AEW for the World Heavyweight Championship. Could we be seeing Hangman Page losing that title a lot sooner? We'll hold up on that, because the bottom line is, I don't think we should. I think Hangman Page should go ahead, possibly either one or two things: be overlooked, have someone that's underneath him as #2, getting that world title opportunity against Hangman Page at Double or Nothing, and then at All Out, we crown Hangman Page as the World Heavyweight Champion. My point being, with Hangman Page winning the world title at All Out would mean a lot, because it's 2 years from the time that he had a shot for the AEW world title against Chris Jericho, where he could have immortalized himself and finally claimed himself to be a main event superstar. That pay-per-view is his calling card, his opportunity to main event himself and turn himself from a B-plus player, quote unquote, let's just put it that way, like a Daniel Bryan type storyline back in 2014, to a Hangman Page of today. That is what I would do here. Now, granted, they could go with Hangman Page facing Kenny Omega in a World Championship match at Double or Nothing this coming May, and have him lose to Kenny Omega, and then regain his spot back to number one contendership and face Kenny Omega again, and this time winning the world title after scrapping and clawing his way for the next couple of months until All Out to get another shot for the world heavyweight title. They could do that too. That's another idea. So, Hangman Page did great. Max Caster, I have no complaints about Max Caster. I think he is an excellent singles competitor, even though he's technically a tag team specialist with his partner Anthony Bowens from Acclaim. I think he's very good either way you go. And I, hope to see these two maybe possibly challenge for tag team gold at some point. So, Hangman Page won this match. Post-match, we have Page grabs a couple of beers and makes his way up through the stands, and he tosses a beer to a fan and then heads out. And that's basically what he has to do there. In the ring, Tony Schiavone introduces Death Triangle, and Schiavone reminds everyone they have a tag team title shot, which is going to be done next week against the Young Bucks, which I'll get into about them because something big happened at the end of this episode with them. And it will happen next week. Orange Cassidy's music hits, and Cassidy, Chris Statlander, and the Best Friends head out to the stage. Cassidy says it's nice to see all three of them in the ring again. On the big screen, we see all the way back in February and May when Death Triangle attacked the group. Taylor says it's been a while and they still remember. So now we're going to be seeing a trios, more likely a trios type of situation. Now, there's been rumors going on that there will be a 6-man tag team championship belt created by AEW. What would be a better way to have these two guys rival up against each other over that championship belt? I think that would be great. Number one, they have a feud that they can work with. I would play into that. I honestly think that they got something there. They could possibly have great chemistry, which I think they probably do. Bottom line, the rivalry, and the 6-man tag team titles in the mix, that would be pretty fucking good. I would love to see that as the finals for those trios tag team titles. I think that would be a fantastic match. So yeah, we're pretty much looking at some idea of what's going to happen in the future. Pac does announce, though, that he and Rey Fenix are looking forward to becoming the next tag team champions, and more than likely will be facing the Best Friends. Now, like I said, this could be a trios situation where we get Pentagon Jr., Pac, and Rey Fenix go up against Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends in the finals for the tag team titles in that trios tag team title division. I would love that. I think it would be fucking fantastic. So we then get a promo by the Inner Circle, mostly by Chris Jericho. Jericho, man, he was fucking great on the mic. Absolutely awesome on the mic this past Wednesday. I absolutely loved him in it. He was on all cylinders, shitting all over MJF. The one thing, and this is the thing that pissed me off about this promo, Jericho said that they were planning on putting him into the inner circle to keep him down, which sounds very heel-like. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. They making comments like that, making themselves sound like heels while MJF is technically the heel that fucked them over. So basically, you're making it sound like MJF is in the right here for what he did to you guys, which kind of sounds stupid to me. That's the one thing I didn't like. Then he also neglects to talk about Sammy Guevara being right about MJF and apologizing to him and the entire inner circle for his lack of judgment. He never even mentions anything about that. Now, he does apologize to the fans for the fact that they were stupid for letting him in the group, I guess. But he didn't really apologize to Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara acted like, no big deal, you don't have to apologize to me type of attitude or what have you. Sammy Guevara deserves a big apology. Because at the end of the day, when you really look at it, it didn't look like Jericho was trying to hold MJF back. It looked like he was trying to make MJF a fucking superstar next to him. It made no sense. I liked the promo he cut. It was great, especially the fact that he said, hey, you've been wearing a fucking scarf for 3 years, pal. You ought to retire that motherfucker. And why don't you stop taking, copying shit from me? You're trying to be MJF, but yet you're trying to act like me. I was fucking rocking with a freaking scarf many years before you even became relevant. If you really want to get all technical, why don't you go ahead and grab a clipboard and start making a list? Some shit like that. I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said. But it was fucking great. I absolutely loved it. And don't get me wrong, I liked the promo. The problem with it was it just made some illogical points here. There was no apology to Sammy Guevara, like I just said. And there was no apology to his inner circle brothers. That's another thing. He should have apologized to every one of them because most of them didn't even want him in the fucking group. That really made no sense to me whatsoever. So, that's one thing. He makes an announcement that on May 5th, we're going to get Blood and Guts. It's going to be the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. Sounds like a good match to me. Definitely looking forward to it. Later on in the show, though, we do get a situation where Mike Tyson helps Chris Jericho and saves his ass from getting powerbombed through a fucking table from the inside of the ring to the outside. And finally, the Inner Circle came out and helped out as well. So I couldn't believe that Mike Tyson actually showed up for that reason alone. But they made amends, they buried the hatchet, and that was that. So that was the other extra thing that happened with the Inner Circle later on in this show. So it wasn't bad. They did announce that Tyson will appear, I think, for next week's episode with Jericho going up against Dax Harwood to go one-on-one with him and fucking what the hell? And Dax Hardwood and sorry, my computer's acting up here. Dax Hardwood and Chris Jericho would go one-on-one with Mike Tyson being the special enforcer. So that's what's gonna happen next week. And I think this fucking website sucks ass. Wrestling Incorporated. Wrestling my ass. This is bullshit. What the fuck's going on here? My computer was doing perfectly fine. Now all of a sudden it's acting up. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. What the fuck? Okay, this computer's acting very, very odd right now, which this has never happened to me before. As you guys already know, if you've been following me for a couple months now, I've been talking about getting a new computer, which I did. Like about a month or two back, I got a new computer and it was working fine. Now all of a sudden it's acting very weird today. I have no idea. Alright, well, I'll try my best to cut the best review without any guidance of what happened on this show because I don't remember everything by heart. Christian Cage was also interviewed backstage in this show. It was discussed about him going ahead and discussing how he felt about having his match against Frankie Kazarian last week. He said, Frankie Kazarian took me to deep waters. I was gassed. He even admitted he was gassed and worn out from that match, but he kept moving forward because he knows he's one of the best. And he knows Frankie Kazarian's good too. He never discredited him or anything like that. He just knows for a fact that he is one of the better guys in professional wrestling, despite the fact he's been gone for 6-7 years. Bottom line, he wasn't disappointed in his matchup. He thought he did very well for a guy who's been out of wrestling for a while. And he says he's going to continue to build on this and moving forward, do better even more in the ring. He also gets a interruption by Taz, and Taz seems like he's eager to get him part of Team Taz. Christian doesn't exactly respond to it. Taz tells him, think about it, sleep on it, and I'll get back to you. No pressure whatsoever. Don't worry about it. Just think it over and tell me what you think. He wanted him to join the Team Taz, so that he could give the younger guys some knowledge and ideas on in-ring performance and so forth, and just get them to understand how to become better. I thought that was kind of cool, but him being with Taz and his group wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. I think he needs to be a mentor to like some younger star that's by himself or what have you. Him doing anything with Team Taz just seems pretty fucking retarded. But just getting to the point here. Anyway, my computer's acting fucking weird. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. It was acting fine, and then all of a sudden it just started acting weird when I got back to the computer to scroll down on the page. But anyway, we saw Jurassic Express against Bear Country, and that match was whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. Jurassic Express won that match hands down with no problem. I got to admit, I thought the match was subpar. It was average at best. The in-ring work was very sloppy in certain points, especially by Luchasaurus. I saw one kick he tried to do to one of the guys from Bear Country, and he missed his fucking chest completely. And the guy sold the move regardless. And it looked so ridiculous, it was fucking weird. So that was one of the other matches that occurred on the show. We also saw Tay Conte versus the Bunny. This was a whatever match. I didn't even care for this. I kind of skipped through it just to get through the fucking show a little bit quicker. Uh, let's see what else we got, because my computer's now acting a little bit more normal. So let's see what the hell we get. Apologize about the whole situation with my computer. Never happened like this before. I've done a lot of reviews on here with no issues, and for whatever reason, it just decided to go ape stick on me for right now. But let's see what we got. Anyway. Is this computer gonna work with me, or is it gonna be a fucking piece of shit? Whatever. Anyway. I'll get to it when I get to it, I guess. So, there was the main event with Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, which I expected that match to take place. That was no surprise. I said it right from the get-go. Before I even saw that they announced it for it to be on next week's episode. I even stated, I believe I stated this, I'm pretty certain I did, that the Young Bucks would turn on Jon Moxley and join Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers with Don Callis. That actually took place. The way it happened, I didn't like it. It seemed fucking dumb and ridiculous for the way it happened, because it didn't make a lot of sense to me. But, it is what it is, I guess. Pretty much what happened here is the Young Bucks were trying to perform a double knee strike to the opponent's head, and it ended up being where they're guessing on whether or not they should do it. Mostly Matt Jackson was having a hard time trying to execute the move. He really didn't want to do it. Nick Jackson kept looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Let's do it. We got to win this match type of attitude. Jon Moxley he was the dumbest person out of the whole bunch. He's seeing these two guys having a hard time trying to execute this move, and he doesn't do a fucking thing. If I was in his position, he did something. He got in the middle of the ring. He tagged himself in by tagging Matt Jackson, and then he went ahead and he performed 2 fucking paradigm shifts and then a fucking rear naked choke on Kenny Omega, and then all of a sudden we get Jon Moxley getting kicked in the face by both Matt and Nick Jackson. Why in the hell would Jon Moxley sit in the middle of that ring and wait for these guys to turn on him? I mean, clearly, I'd look at them both and say, you're going to tell me you guys can't do this. You're not going to go ahead and knee this guy in the fucking head. Apparently, you guys got something for this dude, so I'm going to take my ass to the back and you can kiss my ass. That's what I would have done. I would have walked from this match and said, fuck this shit. That's what I would have done. I just would have walked away. That would have been the more logical thing. I would appreciate that a little bit more than what fucking happened here. Did I like the heel turn? Yes. It was pretty damn cool. But what I think should have happened was Moxley should have gotten tagged in naturally without forcing himself in with this awkward delay of what they wanted to do here, and have him get in the match, and when the match continued to roll on with him and Kenny Omega being in the middle of this, then you have both of them just go ahead and super kick him square in the fucking face, And that's it. No hesitations, no emotional cries coming from Matt Jackson, which is what you were getting at one point. And then Don Callis had a whisper in his ear, and they both kicked him in the face this time together without a moment's hesitation. And he goes, "Oh, now I understand." Come on, man. If you're gonna be a heel, be a heel. Don't be a fucking brainwashed idiot. I mean, it's one thing to be a heel, but being brainwashed to becoming a heel is kind of stupid. I mean, they really kind of fucked this up a little bit. I kind of feel like this was fucked up a little bit. I didn't really. I mean, it was cool to see them turn heel and finally join with Kenny Omega, but to do it on this level with all this emotional bullshit, it just didn't make much sense to me. It came across really dumb. Everyone looked stupid, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I thought everybody looked stupid in this whole entire matchup, except for the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. The rest, the team of John Moxley and the Young Bucks came across looking like fucking asswipes. Really. I didn't particularly care for that match whatsoever. We did have a segment with Sting, and this was a typical same old shit with a slight twist. And I kind of like this. This was actually very nice. Before I get into that, I'm going to discuss about Nightmare Factory training facility. QT Marshall seems to me through this promo to finally meeting his stride as this heel character. He got a little bit of care in me to give a shit about his heel character. He started talking about the fact that he was more of Cody's little go-getter. His guy that would do his shit for him so that he wouldn't have to do it himself. He said that the reason why he had to quit WWE was because he wasn't cutting it there. And going to the Indies where he was surrounded himself around a bunch of vanilla midgets. So he starts introducing everyone in his team, one of who is Agogo. And he says he's a mainstream name in the UK, but he's an American. And all the silly Yanks will learn the hard way. He claims he's main event material. He's star power. He's got the look, the body, all that bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Marshall says this is his Nightmare Factory as Komoroto throws blue paint over the Nightmare Family logo on the wall. One problem with that, there was a bit of a mishap. He kind of missed. The blue paint didn't even go barely on the Nightmare Factory name at all. Barely. He got a small smidge of it to go on the logo. Most of it went completely underneath it. He didn't throw it high enough. Fucking retarded, man. Looked fucking bad as hell. Let's see here. We then had Sting. He had his segment, and he was trying to cut a promo again, and as usual, he ends up going ahead and not cutting a promo. But they do a small twist here in this situation. Lance Archer shows up. He grabs the microphone out of Sting's hand. I believe it was Sting's hand. Give me a second. He grabs a mic, and Archer says he's tired of all of it. Tired of it all. He's not going to get a match and then just go away at this point. He should be in the main event, he says. He says this is his time and should be talking with Shivani himself instead of Sting. Sting finally rips the mic out of his hand and says he has something to say. And Sting agrees with Lance Archer's comments that he should be a main event guy and shouldn't be leaving from television. He thinks Roberts needs to help Archer channel that energy. Sting says he's got it in him, and he just needs to make it happen. So Sting is agreeing with Lance Archer. He should be a main event guy. He should be a star player on AEW Dynamite. But unfortunately, he is not. And Sting walks to the back at that point after he tells Jake the Snake Roberts what he should do. And Archer and Roberts seem a bit confused of all of this. Sky and Ethan Page look on from the stands and laugh, pretty much. I don't know what the fuck they were playing into in this, but it made no sense to me. Personally, it's real simple. This is going to be Lance Archer versus fucking Sting. Hands down. I called this last week or a week before that. I don't remember which week it was, but I remember I called it. I said Lance Archer versus Sting. My good buddy Matt, he went ahead and he texted me and says, no, it's not going to be Lance Archer versus Sting. It's going to be Lance Archer versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Now, I won't deny that. That might be a possibility in the future. But right now, it's Lance Archer versus Sting. Lance Archer is going to face Sting, and Sting is going to put over Lance Archer in a big way. This match is not going to be close. I guarantee you this match is going to take place on Double or Nothing, not Dynamite. Lance Archer is going to kick the living shit out of Sting. They're going to take him off television, and we're going to have Lance Archer versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. And Darby Allin's going to get his ass kicked. Only he's going to put up a fight in this one against Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. And Lance Archer is going to become your new TNT champion. And he's going to finally get a run for a little while before he loses it to someone that's more suitable to take over his spot after he's been reigning as TNT champion for a while. And that's what I see this coming to. When I see him becoming TNT champion, I don't know. I don't know if you wait all the way until All Out, or you make him become champion on Dynamite, and then have him defend it at All Out against Darby Allin, since at whatever point they decide to put the title on Lance Archer, if that's the route they even go on, that is, I would definitely be okay with a rematch, because Darby Allin, after the title defenses he's going to be having leading up before he loses the title, would probably be suitable enough for people to consider, I'm not into rematch clauses for a championship, and then someone loses it and wants a rematch after they lost it. But I think people would be okay with it because he actually had a decent title reign, at least defending it against other opponents. Speaking of Darby Allin, he defended his TNT championship against J.D. Drake, a former Evolve performer who actually faced Austin Aries, or Austin Theory, not Austin Aries, I'm mixing names up here, Austin Theory, in a unification matchup, I believe it was, or it was just for his championship he had at the time. It's called World Wrestling Network, I think is what it's called. They had their own thing they could do on there with Evolve shows, and people could be able to access it, I think, for free, except for paying a subscription for like $9.99, I think, or something like cheaper than that, for like really small indie promotions. And they pretty much had a matchup, and match wasn't all that bad. I think you could watch it on the network once they bring that back up on Peacock. So once it comes up, I'll definitely let you guys know. Or, I mean, if you guys know what Evolve episode that was, definitely check it out, because it's definitely well worth your time to watch. But, yeah, Darby Allin wins this match against J.D. Drake. J.D. What the fuck? As you can tell, I am fucking tired as hell. I'm exhausted. And I'm trying to get through all this and tell you guys exactly what happened. I'm sure you guys already know what happened. I just like to give you guys my personal opinions and how I felt on the show. So after the match was over, we did have an altercation take place. The Butcher and the Blade actually attack Darby Allin. Hardy family strolls out to beat up Darby Allin. Bunny runs over to commentary and yells at them to move their stuff. Dark Order and Sting run out to the group to run the group off. But Bunny is now concerned by commentary, or cornered by commentary. Tay Conte charges her and lands a bunch of shots before their upcoming match. That's pretty much that. So after that match was done, I already talked about Tyson saving Jericho from the Pinnacle, putting him through a table, and everything else. The Bunny versus Tay Conte. Tay Conte won that match. Like I said, I didn't particularly care for this match too much. So that was pretty much the entire show as in a nutshell. I know I didn't do it in exact order, in chronological order that it happened on the show. I apologize for the mishap with the whole computer freezing up on me with this Wrestling Incorporated webpage. But sometimes that happens. I don't know why. It seems to happen on every fucking computer I do it on, even if it's brand new. But that's your review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I don't sound very energetic. I'm extremely tired. It is currently right now 2:11 in the morning. I just finished doing this review for you guys. I'm going to be uploading it before I go to bed. So please keep an eye out for it. I know you guys, most of you will be sleeping unless you're across the, and across the world, over the seas, and what have you. So if you guys happen to watch this and whatnot, please go ahead, subscribe, guys. I am always uploading videos every single week, sometimes less than others, but most of the time I'm always uploading at least one video per week, giving you guys my insight and my opinion on these shows. Next week is going to be a loaded fucking week for me. I am going ahead. I am definitely doing NXT for the first time in a long time. I haven't done an NXT review, I think, in over a year. There was a few episodes here and there that I did, but I haven't been consistent with it. Back in the day when they were on the WWE Network, 2 years, 3, 4 years ago, I was fucking uploading a video every single week on the show. Consistently, every fucking week. That was the only thing I actually reviewed because everything else was shit. I mean, still is. But you get my point. So yes, NXT Tuesday night. I'm not doing Monday Night Raw because they absolutely suck. Wednesday night, I'm doing AEW Dynamite as usual. Thursday night, I don't think I really have anything available for that. I may come up with something. I may upload a video Monday night for you guys to substitute Monday Night Raw. So because I don't do Monday Night Raw reviews anymore because it's just so fucking awful to watch that shit. And Friday night, I will definitely be reviewing SmackDown. Most definitely, I enjoy SmackDown. Certain, when they do things right and they're trying, they actually come with a good show. They come up with a good show that's worthy enough for 2 hours to watch. Trying to think here. Saturday, I might be able to upload Impact Wrestling, depending on how much energy I have and how much I really want to watch Impact Wrestling. I mean, I have noticed you guys do tune in to watch my reviews for Impact Wrestling when I upload them, so I probably will upload that video for next week on Saturday. I won't be able to watch the show live because I'm going to be watching SmackDown. soon as I get done cleaning up my house on Friday night. So that'll be uploaded later. But otherwise, guys, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing this week. So again, NXT Tuesday night, AEW Dynamite Wednesday night, Thursday going to be a blank schedule. Friday SmackDown, Saturday Impact Wrestling. Probably have that uploaded Impact Wrestling in like 8, 9 o'clock at night. I'll have that uploaded for you guys. So keep an eye out for all those videos. I may upload an extra video on Monday night, like I just mentioned, depending on how I feel. But right now, it's just going to be those 4 videos that I'll be doing a review on. So keep an eye out for it. And at this time, guys, with it being as late as it is, which I've never normally do a review this late at night, 2:12 in the fucking morning. I would like to say good night to you guys. Hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a great night, guys. Bye.